anybody can who feels that that is what they are internally. So you and I are basically throwbacks to old school, and we're not going along with the program, and that's why they cannot wait until we get off the planet.
I just read a text a friend of mine said after our first story, women dummies? The women's movement is going to be up in arms with the demand for more women dummies. Okay. Congressional black...
I've always wondered, well, does that mean that women have more accidents? I mean, if that's what they're saying is women have more injuries in car accidents, well, maybe they're bad drivers.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Well, Diane, I just want you to know something. I mean, I know that you're a woman and I just want you to know that with the story, and no one disputes the fact that women apparently die more in car accidents and women have a rougher time in cars. And I just want you to know, Diana, that I care.
You care. Well, that's all that matters these days, is that we care.
I care. Okay. Now, the Congressional Black Caucasians have, that's what Chris used to call them. Love it. The Congressional Black Caucasians. The Congressional Black Caucus has called for the Senate to reconvene so that they can pass this so-called voting rights scam that they have. And apparently the male Senate, 50% of which is Democrats, have given the Congressional Black Caucus the solitary finger salute.
You live?
They're not coming back. Why not?
That's the whole message. I got the same conclusion you did, that the Congressional Black Caucus, the CBC, is calling on the Senate to reconvene and to pass this legislation. And there was nothing but crickets in response. It was like, basically Schumer had announced on Monday that the Democrats are going to take up this voting rights legislation in January. But first they had to go on vacation. So clearly this is not a priority to Chuck Schumer or any of the Democrat leadership in the Senate. So the House is putting out this little plea, the CBC in the House, saying, please make this as important as you're claiming it is, and actually voting on it. And nope, cactus flying by, whistling in the wind, nothing happening. So the importance of this is obvious by the fact that they're doing nothing in the Senate. And I don't even know if they'll do it in January. This was always a change channel thing because they failed at the BBB, at the big legislation that Biden wanted. So they immediately said, oh, well, we're going to do voting rights instead. And, of course, it went nowhere because you would have to get rid of what? The filibuster. And you've got a bunch of Democrat senators who aren't going along with that. So this is not going anywhere either. So they're lying to the CBC, they're lying to their voters, and this is not going to happen.
Okay, now let's talk Manchin Democrats. Biden's setbacks rattle Democrats facing tough elections. That's the hill. Now, I want to ask you first, is this setback, do you see this as a permanent setback or a temporary setback with Joe Manchin, the Maverick, Joe Manchin, saying, no, I'm not going along with this massive Build Back Better Welfare Forever bill?
Well, they are rattled. It's true because they expected the pressure they were putting on both Manchin and Sinema to work quickly. And that I've been pretty cynical about this and thinking that ultimately this is going to pass probably at a lower number than they'd wanted. But I would not be a bit surprised if there's machinations going on during the holiday break, and this does happen later. That's why I said don't go on the roller coaster. The ins and outs of who's up, who's down on this legislation is going to be crazy-making if you pay attention to the details. Just wait and see what happens. It looks like, however, Manchin is in a difficult position. 1, 2. Now, I look back at his record, and it's very interesting. I mentioned to you that he actually is the replacement in the Senate for Robert KKK Sheet Byrd, the seat that Byrd held for so many decades in the Senate. When Byrd died in July of 2010, Manchin was governor of West Virginia, and everyone knew that he wanted that seat. And he was even thinking about appointing himself. But that did not fly. So he actually appointed his 36-year-old chief counsel, Manchin did, who held the seat, was basically a seat warmer for a few months, and Manchin ran for the seat in November of that year. Now, he won actually by 60% in 2010. And then in 2018, he then won as an incumbent in 2012, 60%. In 2018, he won by 49% to 46% over the Republican. He had a spoiler in there, the Libertarian spoiler, got 4% of the vote in West Virginia. That was the only reason that Manchin was able to win re-election the last time. So West Virginia has changed underneath him dramatically. It was under Byrd, it was an old school Democrat state, and now it is Republican. It is a 70-30 Republican state. The other senator won as a Republican by 70 points. The governor won by 60-some points. Trump won by 70-30 over.
70-30, right.
Biden's popularity is in the 30s in West Virginia. So really, this is the dilemma that Manchin has. He knows he really almost got burnt last election. He almost lost. If he hadn't brought in that Libertarian to siphon off 5 points, he wouldn't have won. So he's got to really play, and he's a good politician. I mean, he's completely cynical, in my opinion. He's being touted as a hero by our side, and I'm certainly glad he's throwing sand in the gears. However, he is doing this dance of what he needs to do to stay in office, and he is playing the game very well. In fact, better than Biden is playing it. So I think he's gonna end up folding, but it's gonna be seen as a victory because he'll get the numbers down.
I say that, and we'll leave it at this. I say that Manchin is doing what we saw Bill Clinton do. It's called triangulation. He is giving the Republicans enough to hang in there and love him, and he's not giving them. That's why he doesn't want to switch parties. He wants to maintain an alliance with the Democrats in his state, because those are going to help provide. So he's triangulating. He's playing both sides, and that's exactly what he's been doing. He has no fear. He
has no fear because he knows it doesn't matter what all of these lefties threaten him with, calling him racist and whatever. He can just let that roll off his back because they are not the ones who are going to be putting him in office again.
Well, Diana, look, my dear, Merry Christmas. Thank you for everything. We all wish you a very Merry Christmas. I'll be talking with you, of course, during the holidays. And we will reconvene here and see what the New Year's drama is. And thank you, Hope, for your keen analysis always. And we hope you have the greatest, merriest Christmas. And certainly Mike, too.
Same to you. Same to you. Merry Christmas to you, and I can't wait to talk to you in the new year.
Okay. Diana and me, ladies and gentlemen, our Princess of Policy. We're going to take a break, come back. We've got your phone calls lined up and more news. Don't you dare go away.
A station built just for you. Entertaining talk, information, and New York opinions.
That is 100% on target.
The world famous and American original. Talk Radio 77 WABC and WABCRadio.com. WABC Traffic and Transit.
Big backup. this agenda for them. They're a very, very small group of people, but they're getting the attention that, you know, that God help us. I mean, we know where we are in this country and what's happening to it. But you know, what happened to the good guys? You know, they got Soros.
Testing.
Backing all the evil. Where's the good billionaires?
Look, I don't want to, hold on one second. I don't want to call transgender people evil. I don't want to make that distinction. Okay?
Did I say they were evil?
No, what you did was lump it in, though, with the good guys and then the other guys, and we were talking about transgender people, and I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. We're not trying to be mean here. What you're asking, what I'm asking, and I like your question, though, where is this ideology agenda being fueled from? That is a legitimate question, and I'm afraid I don't have the answer. Do you know where it's being fueled from?
No, but what I'm saying is that you got people like Soros fueling evil, okay, on all levels.
Okay.
And if we can't get our good people to come out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me use this as it's an example, but maybe it's a poor example. Look at the Republicans. I'm a Democrat, and I'm so disgusted. I'm changing now to go back to an independent, because you can't even be a Republican today. The Republicans didn't stand behind Donald Trump. Okay, they even turned against him. If they had the opportunity, we could have really done something.
Since Ronald Reagan, and maybe even more than Reagan, on confronting China, on dealing with Iran, on that stupid Paris Accord deal, on pushing back on the Obama overregulation of most of our society. He finally had brought some security to the nation's borders. He got a lot done with the courts. He got a lot done with business regulations and lowering the regulations for business. Donald Trump's presidency was a success, and that's why liberals had to get him out no matter what. So I hear you, but you were right about this. If those backstabbing Republicans, the rhinos, weren't trying to sabotage Donald Trump, we could have got a lot more done. And that's just what grates, I think, almost every Republican in this base. They recognize what a great president Donald Trump was for this country and how awful he was treated by members of his own party, not to mention the machine of the Democrat Party and their mainstream media allies.
100% right, and I agree with you. It's those people that backdoored him. The Democrat. Look at what's happening now with the Democratic Party and the big senator that's holding his ground against.
The Maverick, Joe Manchin.
There you go. Yeah, look at what they're doing to him. That's what we should have did to ours, okay? To the Republicans that went against Donald Trump.
And it's not too late. By the way, until 2022, every single of those 12 Republicans that voted for that infrastructure bill, every single one.
hospitals and nursing homes, suggesting that they admit such patients. Even after the guidance was rescinded, nursing homes continued to admit COVID patients into their facilities. All in all, approximately 16,000 residents in Long
damper. I mean, this guy, I wouldn't invite him to any party ever. He's just such a downer, always a downer. And you know what? I got to tell you one more thing. If you think this thing is over, it's never going to be over. There's going to be a Delta variant, an Omicron. There's going to be a Mississippi variant. There's going to be another variant.
John knows the whole Greek alphabet. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going, variant. Keep going. Keep going.
We still have another 10
Yeah. So we got 10 more variants to go. Congressman Peter King?
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that whenever we have Janine on, we ask one question, and the rest of us come back in 20 minutes. Because she gets off, and Lord, you can't stop Janine when she gets started.
But no, I tell you, I'm feeling good today. You know, I was at St. Patrick's last night. What peace, what tranquility, what beauty in the middle of New York City. And, you know, it's right near ABC, WABC, and it's just a magnificent place. You know, we should really think about Christmas and what it means. I'm Catholic. I went to Catholic school. You know, the miracle of Christmas and religion, it's the one thing that has survived. And I think about, you know, one of the earliest Christian churches.
He's tough, he's strong, and the worst thing you can do is take him on personally.
And we got Judge back. Judge, did you hear the congressman's question?
Yeah, I heard what Peter said, and I got to tell you, the progressives who are now demanding that Biden take radical executive action to implement their socialist spending agenda may be too much for Manchin. And I agree with Peter. I mean, Peter obviously knows him better than I do. He's a tough guy. Nobody scares him. But I think at some point the divide. In crowd and the clique, you're on the outside, and you don't get any pork for your district. And what the hell is the point at that point? But I really think that John Catsimatidis put it right on the button. It's about courage. They don't have the courage, and they don't have the chutzpah to be able to stand up and say, hey, I believe in America. I believe in law and order. I believe in police. And I don't know where these women are coming.
Tells me at least the judiciary is trying to do, its job constitutionally.
What I think they want to do, these regressives, I won't call them progressives because everything they do...
They're not progressing anything.
Exactly. They're backwards. They want everybody to be beholden to them. It's a form of slavery. That's what I feel like. If you are beholden to somebody to put food on your table, to pay your rent, to hard, you just, that's what it is. It's slavery, in my opinion.
I've heard congressmen say this before, but you've said that there was a day in Washington where Democrats and Republicans would go to the House floor and they'd battle it out over tax policy or national defense, and they'd say this budget item should be more and this one should be less, and they go at it face to face. But then they'd go eat dinner that night and they'd say, we do love our country. I'm not always convinced that everyone on the Democratic side of the aisle still loves America.
What do you think, John?
Not everyone loves America, and those are the ones that are real socialists. And the other ones don't have the courage to stand up and say they love America.
They're too scared of them.
I am disappointed in a lot of my friends.